Hello, guys. Bayern de Munich. If you have to kill somebody like Real de Madrid, you kill them early and you kill them very fast. Post-match analysis: Real Madrid versus Bayern de Munich. Final score at the Bernabeu: Real Madrid 1, Bayern de Munich 2. But permit me to tell you that this score is a more favorable score for Real Madrid compared to Bayern. Okay, it's true you're going to tell me that Bayern plays better. Bayern is more dominant. Yes, all what you're saying is true, but you have to also agree with me that Manuel Neuer didn't come out man of the match for nothing. You guys cannot play better, and your goalkeeper comes out man of the match. That should tell you that even though you played better, but there was a possibility that you guys could have lost that match in case you never had that goalkeeper. Okay, now we start with the first half. The first half was a whole dominant piece of football shit given by Bayern to Real Madrid. Bayern dominated Real Madrid technically, physically, psychologically. Bayern dominated Real Madrid, starting by the person that was being messed up with so bitterly, Carreras. What Michael Olise did to Carreras today, please. I personally think after the match, right? After the match, they should go and check whether Carreras is socially pregnant for Olise. What Olise did to Carreras. Even Lamine did not have such a game against Carreras. Olise messed up with Carreras. I think Olise had 100% of dribbles réussi against Carreras. And I'll personally blame Arbeloa for what happened to Carreras, because him seeing that Carreras is already having a difficult game against Olise, the best he could do was double up on Olise. That's all. Okay, he just had to double up on Olise the same way on the right flank, on the right wing. Okay, there was Valverde doubled up on Luis Diaz. Okay, if you realized well, Luis Diaz was a large part of the first half. Most specifically, he was absent. He wasn't present. Okay, his flank wasn't active. The reason was simple. First, Arnold didn't have a difficult game defensively, and Arnold tried defensively, and more to that, they doubled up on Luis Diaz. That's why Luis Diaz didn't have that flair to do everything he had to do, even though he scored, yes. But aside that, okay, he didn't have a perfect game. All the two players that scored for Bayern, aside their goals, their games in question, they weren't that good. Okay, so the difficult game of Carreras, I think a big responsibility goes to Arbeloa, either by for not telling Vinicius to double up on Olise, okay, or for not telling maybe Peter to double up on Olise, because at one point in time I saw Mbappe trying to track back to double up to help Carreras against Olise. Olise messed up with Carreras so bad. Okay, now for the other players defensively, Real Madrid did an excellent job during the first half. Okay, during the first half, okay, they had an excellent job, very excellent game. Okay, the only mistake came, okay, during the goal that they conceded, whereby Luis Diaz made that run behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. If not, okay, defensively coupled with the goalkeeper, it was an excellent game. And what happened during this game is what I always tell you guys, okay, of the Bernabeu effect. You see some funny things happening in the game. Come on, if not of something funny and the Bernabeu effect, explain to us how Upamecano missed that chance, the chance he missed. That chance, wow, how come he missed that chance? If not the Bernabeu effect, explain to me how Serge Gnabry, after that Pitach mistake, couldn't square in that ball into the goal. Just explaining, those are what they call the Benabao effect. Those are things that happen to you when you are at the Benabao, and that's why I still say this score of 2-1 is more favorable to Madrid compared to Bayern, because now there is no more exterior goals scored away. All those things are not now. We just know that is a one goal difference against Bayern, and for a Madrid team, Champions League is small. Personally, the goal difference is very small. I was expecting Bayern to whip in Madrid at least 5-1 or 6-1. Those are the kind of scores I was expecting. But with 2-1 against Madrid, okay. So after the defender, the midfield, c'était à la ramasse. The only player in the midfield that tried to do something were Chouameni, who ended up having a yellow card. Hence, we missed the next match. And why did he even have a yellow card? Because he was running for two. Okay, he was running for two. Peter had a very, very bad game. A very, very bad game. I understand he's young. He can make mistakes, okay, and also pressure for Champions League. Okay, I understand. I understand all those things, because the mistake that he made to give back that ball to Looney, he would have given that ball instead to Rudiger also, but that didn't happen. Okay, and even after the mistake, the goal didn't still come. So Chouameni had a very average game because he had to do a lot. Okay, and now we now move further to towards the end of the first half. Okay, where the goal came. Real Madrid, that it was just lack of concentration because they climbed, then Valverde forgot to come back. Just since they were playing through counter attacking, they climbed and Vinicius lost the ball. The ball lost by Vinicius was what led to the goal, and Trent was too slow, and by not slow for not seeing the run that Luis Diaz was trying to make behind him, and Luis Diaz scored. Okay, and after that they went out for the first half. That was an opportunity for Abela to correct his mistakes. If I were him, I would have suggested, or if I was assistant, I would have probably suggested that at the halftime, seeing fully well that Peter was not having a good game, Bellingham should have come in. Personally, Bellingham should have come in. Okay, because you saw when Bellingham came in during the second half, the match changed. Okay, because Bellingham would have helped Chouameni at that midfield position. There would have been two of them, the same way Pavlovic and Kimmich were working. Bellingham would have helped Chouameni in that midfield position. And then now Ada Güler would have not been in front, where he can easily display passes. Because during the first half, he was the only player that was trying to carry the ball forward, and he's very intelligent. Okay, he's very, very intelligent. I like his ball playing skills. Okay, so for me at halftime, I would have probably substituted Pitach for Bellingham and substituted Carreras for Kamavinga. Okay, even that Mendy is injured, but I'm sure he'll be back. Okay, next week against for the match return. So that mistake because after they came back halftime, okay, second half, I think it was 40 or 50 seconds into the game. Let's just say 1 minute into the game. Okay, another loss of ball control by Carreras. Olise picked up the ball, gave the ball to Hurricane. Okay, and Hurricane scored. Mind you, Courtois in that position, that goal would have entered. Courtois in that position of Lunin for the second goal, I'm not sure Kane would score. I'm sure Courtois in that position, this match ends 1-1. Okay, this match ends 1-1. And after that goal, I don't know, but Bayern Munich just dropped. But I don't think they dropped. I just think it was the changes that company made. Okay, the act of bringing in Musala. In fact, those changes, bringing in Musala, removing Naby, because Naby was helping with the high pressing. He was pressing very, very well. I know Musala just recovered from injury, so Musala is not at his best form. So bringing in Musala, those few changes, ça a baissé l'intensité du pressing au milieu de terrain. Hence, Real Madrid had some opportunities now to carry the ball forward. And you see Bellingham with his gabaret, his pedigree, and his physique. Okay, he helped them a lot in carrying the ball forward, gaining free kicks, and some few one or so. I was even scared. when Brahim just came in, my only fear was that nobody should touch him while he was in the box, because Brahim just being touched in the box is very technical and he's more like a poison. You touch him, he falls, it's penalty. Non-negotiable, nobody argues with you. Okay, so after the goal, Bayern dropped, even Olise dropped a lot. The game started becoming far. That was where Real Madrid's goal came. Okay, and Real Madrid would have still scored a second goal and even a third goal. Okay, the second goal should have probably come from the Upamecano's mistake that he made. Okay, where Vinicius was running behind me. That's where you see the use of an experienced goalkeeper. Look at what Neuer did. He made himself big and made it impossible for Vinicius to just accompany Vinicius towards the end, just to make sure that Vinicius does not see the angle to kick and score. We can say he was supposed to score and other, but it's not easy. Neuer made it difficult for him to score that particular goal. Okay, after that, Real Madrid kept on pushing. Bellingham did some very good ball carriage forward. He did some very good thing, but Neuer was present. Okay, Neuer was present. That's the importance of having a good goalkeeper, a world-class goalkeeper. And like I said, I'm very sure Courtois in the goal of Madrid, this match does not end 2-1 in favor of Bayern. Okay, and I'm even very sure Courtois, another goalkeeper in the place of Neuer, Madrid wins this match. Okay, Bayern have had another opportunity to even score the third and the fourth goals towards the end, but they didn't score. They were making some one or two silly passes. Real Madrid is a team that will have an opportunity to square them down, gun them. Don't allow them. Don't give them the opportunity to wake up and start looking at you, because don't be surprised. During the second leg, Mendy will be back at the left back position. Just maybe Tchouaméni will not be there, but Camavinga can play in that position. Okay, and Camavinga might decide to have one hell of a match on that particular day. Bellingham will start that match. Pitach will not start. So we'll have a midfield of Camavinga, Bellingham, and Ada Güler. It's not going to be easy for Bayern. I'm very, very sure, even though it's going to be at the Allianz Arena. Okay, I just wished that we could have Manuel Neuer and Courtois. It would have been one hell of a match. But everything being equal, Bayern won, but I'm not convinced. Madrid still the match, everything is still open. Madrid can still qualify in this particular encounter. I'm very, very scared. I was expecting a lot more than a 1-goal difference. Okay, guys, so that's the end of our video for today. Okay, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And please comment. I want to hear your point of view, what you think. Okay, see you in the next one, probably in the post-match analysis of Barcelona and Atletico de Madrid. Peace. Visca Barça, Visca Catalonia.